Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Naked Fusion. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button so you can get notified every time I put up a new video. In Nigeria, Uziza and Uda are spices we usually say for soups. They are rich, earthy, and full of depth, but today I'm taking them somewhere unexpected. Into a dessert. I've paired these bold flavors with a hint of citrus and a touch of Garri. Yes, you heard right, Garri, to create a uniquely Nigerian spiced cake. Let's see what happens when tradition meets creativity in every bite. So these are my ingredients that I'll be using. I'll be using some citrus and I'll be using oranges, lemons, clementine, lemongrass. We're using some eggs. I'll put the quantity in the description box, and I'll be using some milk, some Garri. That's our Garri. It has been sieved, finely sieved. Okay, that's going into our cake. I'll be using some flour, some sugar, buttermilk, some butter, of course for richness, Uda. That's what the Uda looks like. I think the English name for it are grains of Selim, and then our Uziza seed. It is called Piper guineense. So these I'll be using spices in this cake, our Nigerian spiced orange cake. So some baking powder, obviously soda, baking soda, and a little bit of vanilla for flavoring. Just stick with me. It's a long video, but stick with me because I need to explain every step. I am exploring, so this is something new. So I have squeezed out my orange juice. This is the orange juice, and I'm going to put that into a pan, and under low heat I'm going to reduce this liquid into a syrupy consistency. Now in another pan over low heat, I'm going to add my Uziza and Uda spice. I'm going to toast this off. I need it to toast off so that it releases its aromas, and then I can blend this up. Now remember that I said that I was exploring, so this is not the quantity I'm going to use. I will put the quantity in the description box, but just follow me as we continue to do so. This is going to toast up, brown up. You can see it's already getting brown, and I'm going to put this in a mortar and pestle, and I'm going to blend that up. I'm going to pound that. Try and pound it to be as smooth as possible. It's not going to be so smooth. The Uda is going to give you some thread-like texture. You get some thread-like texture when pounding. It's easier to get the Uziza smooth, but the Uda will give you some thread-like stuff, and that's not a waste. You would see how I'm going to use that in this video. So we're just going to keep rubbing that together, and then we're just I've sieved out a bit of this already from this sieve. You can see it's in a sieve, but then I thought I could flavor our milk with the shaft, the part that didn't blend very smoothly. So I did that, and you won't allow your milk to boil. You just need to create steam in the milk. Just when it has just steaming a little bit, you take it out and then transfer it into sieve out the shaft. Now, like I said, we're exploring. This quantity that I'm using here wasn't still enough because I had to keep tasting as I was going. So this is what it looked like when we steamed this. I will put the right quantity. Now back to our orange juice. You can see it has reduced a lot, but it's not yet ready. We're still going to leave this on to reduce till we've gotten a syrupy syrupy consistency. This is going to be our flavor because I'm not using any added flavoring. That's going to be our orange flavor. So to our sugar, we're going to be pouring in the zest of our clementine and the zest of some orange, and we're going to rub the sugar and this zest in between our fingers. We're going to rub that in just to release its flavors into that sugar. This is just process of developing flavor, so we're just going to keep doing that as you're seeing me doing in the video. You're just going to do that, keep rubbing that in just to release its oils into that sugar. Once you have rubbed everything together, you set your sugar aside. Now back to our orange juice reduction. You can see this is what we are trying to achieve. This, once it cools down, is going to be thicker than this. We want a syrupy consistency. This is what we're going to use. So what I did was to put this into a freezer to cool this very quickly. So now into our bowl, we're about to make the cake. I've added some baking powder and some baking soda, and then I'm just going to add that into a bowl, and I'm going to add our sieved garri into that bowl. I'll also be adding a pinch of salt to the bowl, and then just going to mix that together and set that aside. Into another bowl, we'll be adding our liquid. First, we're putting in our buttermilk in no particular order. Just add in your liquid, the buttermilk, your flavored milk, the Uda and Uziza flavored milk. You add that in. You add your vegetable oil in. You add your orange juice, the orange juice reduction. You add that in. If you do not have orange, if you cannot have enough orange juice, you can also use a store-bought flavored orange flavor. You can use an orange flavor, but I'm not using any orange flavor, so I had to just make use of my orange flavor. So you're just going to add that up together. You can see how thick our orange juice is now that it has cooled down. And I'm just going to add this into our liquid. We're going to mix this all up together. Aside from the egg, we won't put that. Now I know in the video that I put in lemongrass, and you will not know where I have incorporated it. I have actually used it in a simple syrup with the zest of our citruses. I put 1 part water to 1 part sugar, and then I put that over heat, allowed it to boil, the sugar dissolved, and that's it. So now into making of our cake, we're going to put in our butter. In our stand mixer, you can also use a hand mixer as well. And then I'm just going to put in my butter with our sugar and zest mixture, and we're going to whisk that on medium speed till our butter is fluffy. After our butter has become pure and fluffy, we'll be adding our eggs one at a time. So I will still increase this so that we can incorporate everything together. Ensure that you are scraping down the sides of your bowl and not leaving out some part of your butter. So I'm going to add in my eggs one after the other until it has fully incorporated. So the next step is to add in our flour mixture and our liquid separately. I'm starting off by adding half of my liquid, and then I'm going to add the other half of the flour, and then I'm going to repeat that still a second time till everything has been in. At this point, you would want to take it off your stand mixer and then finish off using your rubber spatula. Do not over mix your mixture. So I'm looking at the consistency of my cake, and I felt like I needed to add something. So I did. I added a little bit of simple syrup that has lemongrass infused into it. So I have lined my pan, and I've earlier sliced some oranges, and I'm just going to be dipping that into white sugar and then placing it at the bottom of my lined pan. And that is going to be the top of our cake when the cake comes out. So after I've done that, I'm going to put some garri at the sides, the corners where there are spaces in between the oranges. I'm going to put the garri there, and that's just going to have a crunchy taste when it comes out, like a crunchy texture rather, when it comes out of the oven. So I'm going to do this to my 2 baking pan. You can see them, they're looking even, and then I'm going to put in my cake batter. So I'm tapping out any excess air and I'm leveling out my cake. I still topped up with some garri and then I'm going to bake. Now I'm going to I've toasted some Uda and Uziza and I'm blending that up. I'm going to be adding that to my chantilly cream. I have whipped up cream, sweet cream. I've whipped that up and I'm just going to add that in and mix that together. This is just, to add more of that spiced flavor to our cake. Our cake is ready and I have already flipped it on a cooling rack. You can see me unveiling what it looks like. It was super moist, really soft, and very delicate. You need to handle carefully. At this point, our cake is ready to eat. You can have it like this or do some extra like I have done. So I just have some garnish, some orange segment, and I have some mixed berry and lemon curd. So I'm just going to layer the cake. I cut the cake into twos, each into two. So I have 4 layers. So I'm just going to put in I'm just going to keep repeating this till I get my stack of cake. So I did this. This was actually shared to the staffs. We're just trying something new and we're exploring. So after I've stacked my 4 layers, the cake was very soft. Some broke at some point, but yeah, we were able to put them together. I put this into the fridge for a bit. Our chantilly cream is not a stabilized one, so obviously it's not very firm. So I'm just dusting in some mint flour and more of our spice, Uda and Uziza spice. So yeah, there you have it. This is something I feel you should try. You can try it in small quantity. Just going to give you the quantity that I used exactly, and then you can reduce the quantity for something small. I want to hear how many people will be trying this in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share.